Oh, that's funny. Well, we're going to do just a little bit of stuff with breathing. And then we're going to do a Nidra because it's been a while. So, are you okay? So, let's start seated. And you could sit on your block or your bolster, whatever you got. I have to sit on something, but maybe you don't. I'm actually going to sit on my ball. I think I'm going to kneel on it. And then I'm going to use my, I'm going to put this right in my, right underneath my bottom, right underneath my like pubic bone pelvis region, so I can kind of feel maybe a little bit of the give and take of those pelvic floor muscles. That might be too much information for some people, but it's just part of our anatomy. And then I'm going to use my ribbon around my ribs and side, just real light pressure here so I can feel that expansion when I breathe in and out. So either set your gaze on a point in space that's not going to move, or drop your eyes closed. And let's just visualize for a moment the inner workings of breathing muscles, just to kind of give us a clearer picture of how all that works. And it's really nice to know that we don't have to do this intentionally, it just automatically happens. So feel for the bottom tips of the ribs and visualize that umbrella-like muscle of your diaphragm, your primary breathing muscle. And as you inhale, you can, in your mind's eye, see it descending into almost towards the abdominal region. It has to go down a little bit so that the lungs can fill up. And the pelvic floor muscles do the same. They give, they soften. And then as we exhale, there's a rebounding effect of that inner canister. The diaphragm relaxes back up into that umbrella-like shape, all the way around the container of the ribs. And on that exhale, the pelvic floor muscles then are just gently contracting to help us exhale. So those two muscles are not only working in sync, but when one is in the eccentric phase, which is a lengthening contraction, the other muscle is in the concentric phase, which means it's shortening to contract. And the only thing you really need to know about that is that it's automatic, but it's helpful to know so that we don't try to restrict any one region of the core. Because when we do, specifically when we draw the belly in, or try to hollow or suck the abs in, that prevents the diaphragm from its full range of motion potential. We have a little more control over those pelvic floor muscles. So as you inhale, notice if you can relax there and welcome in that gentle pressure from above. And then as you exhale, there might be a drawing in that you'd like to create, or a lifting sensation as you contract. I think it's vital to learn how to do both things. It's not helpful to always be pulling those muscles up and contracting. We also need to be able to release and to yield and to let go there. And just keep breathing nice and smooth and slow. Set your band off to the side. And just lightly touch your fingertips towards the area that's in your chest, high in your chest, and maybe slightly below the collarbones. And see if we can keep this area relatively calm and still. as we breathe in and out. Now there might be a forward movement out in front of you with that inhale, but maybe let's work towards preventing that area to lift and breathe vertically upward towards the neck or the shoulders. Inviting some softness into the wall of the belly, the spaces between your ribs, on the front, on the back, all the way around in 3D. Aim for a 3 to 5 second inhale and a 5 to 8 second exhale. And then we'll place one hand in the front of the core and one hand to the back of the core. And just keep breathing in a way that feels satisfactory, calm, connected, intentional but still easeful. Can be a little harder to find that back body expansion. So if it's not happening for you physically, create it with your mind. Now just let your arms relax and hang by your sides. Keep a fairly upright position of your trunk. And on your inhale, let your shoulders rise up to your ears. So you can kind of feel your traps engaged. Take an extra inhale there. And then exhale, let it go. And let the shoulders fall. Take a couple breaths there. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Take an extra inhale there. Fill up a little more than you think you can. And exhale, soften the shoulders down. Continue to breathe. And then one more breath with the shoulder action. Rising. Holding it up for an extra cycle. Another sip of air at the top. And let the shoulders go as you exhale. And then tip your head to one side or the other. Try to keep those shoulders nice and level. This might be just enough sensation, but if you want something different, you can add in rotation to the side bend. Looking down over the right shoulder and then maybe pivoting so the chin lifts in the opposite direction diagonally. Release back to your middle and side bend the other direction. Freedom to explore those spins and swivels. Come back to center with your head. You can lay your hands in your lap. And let's just experience now a vertical breath. And you can make it kind of a, maybe like a track. A really long oval in the body, just moving mostly up and down through that central channel, and it can be moving in any direction that you like. Might be helpful to imagine breathing into one side of the nose, moving down that side of the spine, and then doing a U-turn and exhaling up out of the opposite nostril, if that works for you. Otherwise, just keep it simple. Inhaling down to the pelvic floor and exhaling back up through the crown. Moving on now to a wider lateral breath, as if you could start that breath from your center line and inhale wider to the sides. And then the exhale just kind of shrink wraps the sides back towards your midline. Feeling the ribs expand outwardly like bellows or an accordion. A couple more breaths like that. All right, now's the time to get super duper cozy for your meditation. And depending on how much time we have after, we can do some awakening stretches and movements. Perhaps an eye cover, something under your head. Some folks like something under their thighs. I always like to practice online classes with headphones in. It just gives me a little closer audio loop. So if you're watching this later, anybody, try headphones. If it's chilly where you are, lay a blanket over your body. And continue to refine your body's position until everything feels just right. Noticing how the skin can relax and soften around your whole structure. Pay special attention right now to the tissues around your face, your eyes and your cheekbones, your mouth, your jaw, even feel the scalp soften. Acknowledging any thoughts that are percolating at this time. And try to create a barrier and some insulation from those thoughts in any way that works for you. A screen, visualizing those thoughts floating away like a cloud, packaging them up in a suitcase, a file folder, putting them in the drawer, whatever works. There's a visual there that you can connect with. The best way to keep the mind occupied so it doesn't get distracted is to simply observe your body experience and the energy that is your breath. And before we go any further into that, let's consider if we'd like to set an intention for today. Frame it as a present tense statement rather than a wish or a hope for the future. Make it a now statement. I am. I feel. Considering how you would like to feel, how you would like to be during and after the practice. Then you can trust that with your attention and with this rest, anything that needs to happen for you today will happen underneath the surface without you having to output any effort or work to achieve it. Feel your body as a whole. Be observant of any areas of your skin that are exposed to light and air. And also where clothing or blankets are covering your body. Where the floor is supporting your body. Notice how your breath can interact with the space that just surrounds your body. Feel your breath entering through your nose. Notice it in your throat. Imagine it in your lungs, pressing against the ribs. Trusting the wisdom of your nervous system to keep your breath online as you rest your body. Breathe as a very relaxed person would breathe. Acknowledge any areas of your body that are currently involved in a healing process or something else that requires your extra tenderness and care. Hold your mind there. Imagine the touch of your breath there. And if it helps you, you might also visualize a warm and healing light or some other presence in that space. Now we begin the sensory journey through your body, starting at the third eye space, center of your forehead. Softening back and down from this place to the space behind your eyes. Notice your throat. Sense your right shoulder, elbow, right wrist, right hand, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, right ring finger. Sense the pinky finger on your right hand. Be aware of the presence of your right arm and hand and all 5 fingertips. Call your mind back to your throat. Feel the soft whisper of your breath. Sense your left shoulder, more easeful. Left elbow. Left wrist. Notice your left hand. Left thumb. Index finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Be aware of the pinky finger on your left hand. Notice your left arm as a whole structure. Bring your mind to your throat. Guide your attention to the middle of your chest. Notice the shield of your sternum and your heart behind it. Center of the heart. Move your awareness to the right side of your chest. Feel the left side of your chest. Bring the light of your awareness to the center of your chest. Journey your awareness to your belly. Notice your breath in your ribs and in your belly. Subtle. Sustainable. Simple breath. Feel your awareness land in the middle of your pelvis. Now your right hip. Sensation of right knee. Right ankle. Foot. Feel your first toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe. Be aware of the fifth toe on your right foot. Feel the presence of your right leg, encouraging deeper rest. Guide your awareness back to the center of your pelvis. Feel into your left hip joint. Left knee. Left ankle. Sense your left foot. Notice your first toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe on your left foot. Be aware of your whole left leg. Call your mind back to center of pelvis. Hold your mind's attention into your lower body. Pelvis, legs, and feet. Lower body sensation. Backs of the thighs and heels. Seat. Sacrum. Front side of the lower body. Tops of the feet and ankle. Shins, knees, thighs. Pelvic bones. Feel your breath in your lower body. And let go even more in your lower body. Now sense your body from the navel to the throat, the chest and shoulders and arms. Feel the central channel that is your core. Sense the curves of your spine. Notice your ribs. Be aware of your collarbones, shoulder blades, the hollow of your throat, and the delicate curve of your neck. Notice the backs of your arms and hands, knuckles and fingernails. Sense your armpits and the insides of your arm, elbow, forearm, wrists, and hands. Sense your body in 3D, observing it from all sides, inside to outside, outside to inside. No straight lines. Curves and valleys and arches, electricity, water. Notice your ears, your nostrils, sensations of temples, feel your eyes resting. Notice your eyelids, eyelashes, and eyebrows. And feel into the smoothness around your forehead. And a sense of expansion near the crown of your head. Receptive. Aware but not overvigilant. Let go just a bit more here in the physical body. Abiding in rest. come back to breathing experience. No need to change the pace or the depth of the breath, but we'll experiment with placement using our creative side. On your inhales, imagine that you could direct breath from the crown of your head to your third eye. And your exhales move from third eye to crown. Now feel the energy of your breath move from crown to throat on inhale, and from your throat back to your crown on your exhale. If you could see your breath, what would it look like? What's the texture and the color? Be in that experience. Using your mind, feel your breath move now from crown to heart space on your inhale, and exhaling from heart to crown. Sense your breath moving now from the crown of your head towards your belly, around your navel. From belly to crown on your exhale. Now feel your breath being directed from crown to center of pelvis on the inhale. Returning from the pelvis to the crown as you exhale your breath. Feel the breath channeling now from the crown to the deepest layers of your pelvic floor, the very roots of your body. back up through that central channel on your exhale, passing through pelvis, abdomen, heart center, throat, third eye, and returning to the crown. Inhaling downward, exhaling upward. Redirect your mind's focus now back to your seed of intention. Recite your statement of truth 3 times to yourself on the inside. Make it potent and clear, affirmative, and passionate. Feel the presence of your body as a whole structure, all of its layers and nooks and crannies. Feel into potential separation and space between your toes, and then create that space. With your mind's eye, observe the webbing between your fingers and stretch here as the fingers pull wide. Now relax your hands and your feet and gently turn your head from side to side. As slowly as you can manage. Rolling along the ridge that makes up the back of your head. As you direct your head back to a neutral position, rotate your ankles. Rotate them in the opposite direction. Let your feet rest. Bend your elbows enough that your hands float off the ground, and circulate your wrists in motion. Stretch your arms over your head and point your toes away from your knees. Squeeze your glutes. Slide your heels in a bit closer to your body as you bend your knees and bring your arms out to the sides. Take a broad stance on your mat with your feet and let your legs turn and twist to your left and to your right. Inviting the pelvis to also spin and turn as little or as much as it wants to in this moment. Notice the bones of the backside, pelvis, the sacrum, sections of spine and ribs, and the tissue and strength that supports that scaffolding. Land your knees back to your middle and draw your right leg towards your chest. You can interlace the fingers in front of the knee, on the shin, or on the back of the thigh as you stretch your left leg closer to the floor or all the way down. As your right foot points, flex your left foot. As your left foot points, flex your right. 2 more like that, alternating. Slide your left heel closer to your body. Hold on to your left leg now. Bring your right leg to the ground. Left toes pull back to the shin, the right toes point away. Now the right toes pull towards the shin and the left toes point away. One more time. As you rebend both of your knees, plant your feet, scoot your hips to one side or the other, and then lay on your side. Bottom arm can serve as your pillow. Take a pause here. Notice any humming sensations from the inside, areas that feel a little sleepy yet, areas that might feel just a little bit stiff and stagnant. And giving yourself plenty of time to bring all of that back online before you head back out into your day. Thanks so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.